You're watching ShotokuTech Saturday Storytime, 21 November 2020. Hi, welcome back to ShotokuTech Storytime. Here, they've approved a road tunnel to be constructed near Stonehenge. They propose that it will cut down on the traffic near the Stonehenge, but the locals are worried that they could cause permanent, irreversible harm to the ancient site. Do recall that we reported previously that shafts have been found dating back to the construction of Stonehenge in and around the area of Stonehenge, and I think that once they start digging, they're going to uncover something and have to stop. Okay, so you thought 2020 was bad. Put this one on your calendar for 2068. Apophis could potentially impact the Earth. Scientists can't rule it out. This asteroid is over 1,000 feet in size. It's like having the Eiffel Tower fly through space. Researchers have announced the detection of a phenomenon called Yarvovsky acceleration on the asteroid. This acceleration arises from extremely weak force on an object due to non-uniform thermal radiation. This is a slight nudge due to the effects of sunlight, but it can change the asteroid's path over time. And previously, scientists didn't think this was going to happen, but new observations show the asteroid is drifting away from a purely gravitational orbit by about 170 meters per year, which is enough to keep the 2068 impact scenario in play. So in Egypt, they continue to find these mummies in these shafts in the area of Saqqara, and this is all undisturbed tombs, so this is an incredible finding here. You want to keep your eyes open for the developments here. Yes, it's shafts full of coffins. This is an interesting article because it talks about how whatever remains of water on Mars is being drawn away in dust storms. The dust particles lift the water up higher into the atmosphere where it can be poached away by the solar radiation. Here you see what it looks like when Mars is having a global dust storm. That's quite a powerful image there. So the study revealed that as the dust swirls at lower altitudes, a deluge of water is reaching the edge of space. The global dust storm stands out in the data like nothing else. Earlier hints that dust storms might somehow be lofting water came in 2014, and two teams reported on UV observations made in 2007 after the last global dust storm. There's a fluorescent fog of hydrogen in the upper atmosphere which faded as the summer ended and the storm subsided. The only plausible source for hydrogen was water. That was the first hint of something weird going on. Here's another article supporting that same information. Both of the links are in this blog post here, so look for that link to this blogspot post in the description down below. Here, a melting glacier threatens to trigger a catastrophic tsunami in Alaska. This is a glacier that flows into the Prince William Sound, and it has been receding rapidly for years. Some of the adjacent slopes held together by the glacier for centuries have been destabilized. One has been slumping downward in slow motion since 2010. If the slope fails at once, it will be catastrophic. A tsunami moving up to 90 miles per hour across the Sound. And this is where there's large cruise ships, cargo ships, fishing boats, and kayakers. The waves could reach heights of 33 feet in the nearby town of Whittier. This is an interesting story, and I must have missed the original story. There's this incredible €1 billion German jewel heist, and now they've detained 3 in raids, assuming that these folks are responsible for this heist. This is one of the incredible pieces of jewelry that disappeared during the heist. So this operation involved 1,638 police officers, and they searched 18 apartments, garages, vehicles, and arrested 3 German citizens they suspect of involvement in the break-in at Dresden's Green Vault Museum in November of 2019. So that's before I started doing ShotokuTech Saturday Storytime. At least one of the prime suspects detained on Tuesday was also involved in the high-profile heist at Berlin's Bode Museum on 27 March 2017. The thieves used a wheelbarrow and a skateboard to abscond with this big maple leaf. It's a 100-kilogram commemorative coin issued by the Royal Canadian Mint. So they cut the power supply to the whole area before the heist. Then they entered the building via a small corner window near the jewelry collection. So you might have thought the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree is ugly, and here's the bad news. They uprooted this poor owl who got trapped in the tree as it was cut down and taken over 200 miles away from where he lives. Poor little feller. So somebody found this saw-whet owl and turned them into the Ravensbeard Wildlife Center. They're checking him out to make sure he's okay. They say they can release him right where they're at, and these saw-whet owls migrate and rarely stay in one place. It really doesn't matter where we release him, he's going to go wherever he wants. Here, scientists have been puzzling over this blue ring nebula, and now they've determined it's because two stars merged and spewed out debris in opposite directions to form two glowing cones. So this has been 16 years of research to determine the mystery of this blue ring nebula. It's the result of two stars merging and spewing out debris in opposite direction, forming these two glowing cones. It appears as a blue ring because one of those cones points directly at Earth. This is a result of the Galaxy Evolution Explorer mission, an all-sky survey in the ultraviolet band of electromagnetic spectrum that was in operation from 2003 to 2013. This stunning blue ring only showed up in one far UV band. They spent several years studying the nebula using many different space and terrestrial telescopes. Then they realized there were actually two rings offset from the central part of the surrounding nebula. It's consistent with being a shock nebula. Our working hypothesis became that a hot Jupiter spiraled into a star and created some sort of conflagration, which caused what we thought was bipolar outflow. But the evidence didn't favor a star-planet collision since the nebula was moving too fast and had too much mass. So they now believe a few thousand years ago, a star about the size of our sun had a smaller star orbiting it, and as it aged, the larger sun puffed up, bringing its outer layers ever closer to the companion star. That smaller star siphoned debris off its bigger partner, forming a disk. But it was eventually consumed by the larger star. This merged and launched a cloud of debris into space. So just a few minutes ago, we're talking about that Apophis asteroid that will impact in 2068. None of us knew on Friday the 13th that a house-sized asteroid skimmed the Earth's atmosphere at 250 miles. This is the same altitude approximately that the International Space Station orbits at. Good thing they didn't get together. Nothing even close to a collision there. Space is so big, and the space station and asteroid are both so relatively small, it would be extremely unlikely for an asteroid this size to collide with the space laboratory. So they're saying that if this had come close within 50 to 70 miles above the Earth's atmosphere, it would have just disintegrated and been an impressive meteor shower. It was difficult to spot because it came from the direction of the sun, and no one noticed until 15 hours later when it was detected by the Asteroid Terrestrial Impact Last Alert System survey at the Mauna Loa Observatory in Hawaii. Here, scientists are producing diamonds in minutes at room temperature. These artificial diamonds could be used in new cutting tools, new kinds of protective coatings, and other industrial devices where hardness is a desirable attribute. And recently, they've seen some promising techniques developed that can turn fossil fuel molecules into pure diamonds, or make them from carbon nanofibers with the help of super-fast lasers. This team of researchers applied the pressure equal to 640 African elephants on the tip of a ballet shoe, doing so in a way that caused an unexpected reaction among the carbon atoms in their device. This device is called a diamond anvil cell. The twist in the story is how we apply the pressure. Along with the high pressure, they allow the carbon to experience something called a shear, which is like a twisting or sliding force. And they think that this allows the carbon atoms to move into place and form Lonsdaleite. Let's see if we can get a pronunciation here. Let's see how to pronounce this Lonsdaleite. Lonsdaleite. Okay, I got it right. So they think this allows the carbon atoms to move into place and form Lonsdaleite and regular diamonds. These regular diamonds are the type you might find in an engagement ring, whereas Lonsdaleite are rarer and founder at meteorite impact sites. And while they examined this using an electron microscope, they found that the materials were formed within bands they likened to rivers of diamonds. Thank you for watching ShotokuTech Saturday Storytime. I invite you to click on the link down below in the description to check out the Blogspot article with the links to all of these stories. And I really want you to take a look at this blog because I've gone back through and added an article for every single video from the ShotokuTech Saturday Storytime episodes all the way back to December 21st. So this blog is fully searchable, so if you wanted to look up stories about the moon or Mars or exoplanets, then you could see all of the stories that I've covered on those topics. And I think it's going to become even more interesting as time goes on. So thank you and have a great week. Thank you for watching ShotokuTech. Please subscribe, comment, like, and share.